This is the Triptychøn, a feature-packed analog fuzz pedal. And to give you a little appetizer on those features, I made this song. I'm playing live and I'm mentioning that because there are no overdubs. So what you see is what you get in terms of sounds, and it sounds pretty meaty, I would say. Triptychøn or Triptychøn. At least that's what we say in Norway when we see this symbol. I'm guessing that is only for fun and that you actually call this pedal the Triptychøn. And in that song you saw me playing my clean tone at first, then I added a drive tone and then a fuzz and then a octave fuzz on top of that. So to demonstrate, I think I want to show you my clean tone from the beginning. I'm using my Shotmaker Songstress. And then I can start to show you some stuff with this pedal because we have a lot of ground to cover. Let's start with the fuzz. It is placed right here in the middle. Fuzz knob, easy. Amount of fuzz, same with volume. Amount of volume. Then you have this buffer switch. Only use that if you have a guitar with an active pickup in it, or you are using a buffered pedal in front of the Triptychøn. If you have a regular guitar as I do, just leave that off. And then you have the fuzz voice selection switch all the way to the left. It is inspired by the Dallas Arbiter fuzz face. Then we go to the Vox tone bender, Solar tone bender Mark 1.5 and Solar tone bender Mark 2. Let's hear it. And then if we want to add another layer of gain into the mix, we can use the drive section of the pedal. Then we flick this switch and you can see it turns on and we are running a drive together with the fuzz. The drive sounds very amp-like. I'm guessing that it's based on something else from a drive pedal from Crazy Tube Circuits. Not sure about that, but we can see how the fuzz sounds alone at first, and then I'm adding in that drive layer. So even without the volume bump, because you can sort of take away that with the master, it makes a huge difference. It just adds another dimension to it, sort of. And that's how you used fuzz pedals back in the day. You didn't run them into a super clean Marshall, or I'm guessing that someone did that, but most people were running these pedals into hot amps. And that's what we are trying to do with this pedal. Okay, let's turn off the fuzz a bit and take a look on this side. This is where you have a treble boost or a octa fuzz. You turn that on using this right here. You also have a buffer. Same rules apply to this one as this one. You have a gain knob on top. You have the option between octave fuzz and treble booster, and you also have a mod switch right here. When that is off on the octave mode, you have a cleaner, more organic upper octave fuzz. When you turn it on, you have a louder and more harmonically rich octave fuzz pedal inspired by the Fox tone machine. When you are on the treble booster side, when the mod is off, it's a traditional treble booster. When you turn it on, it has more focus on the mids. You can also combine this with the drive. You do like this, then you are running it together with just the drive, and then you can of course also add in between, as I did in the intro song. So let's hear octave mode with no mod first. Not a lot of gain going on, and then add in the mod. And let's go to the treble booster. Let's back off that a bit. Mod. This side I definitely prefer to use together with either just the drive or both, or just together with the fuzz. Okay, so let's try the treble booster together with the drive. This is immediately giving me some early Led Zeppelin vibes. Octa fuzz, no mod. Mod. If you just want to use the drive section of this pedal, you will need to use something like this. This is sold separately. It is optional. This is from Crazy Tube Circuits. You can also use a passive latching foot switch if you have that. Let's hear just the drive section alone. This will not work when you have this plugged in, by the way. Sounds very much like a driven amp. I need to figure out what they did with this circuit, if it's a pedal that I can get separately. I will let you know down in the comment section if I find out. So you can use it alone, but you do need to have this. Then you can go from clean to drive. You can add in the fuzz, and then the octave fuzz or treble booster on top of that. I think it's time for me to shut up, show you some more sounds, and then I will get back to you with my sort of verdict on the Triptychøn after that. What is more fun than one drive pedal? 2. What's more fun than 2? 3. I think this is a very good idea from Crazy Tube Circuits. Not only a good idea, but it's also executed really, really well. Just in my last video that I did on my channel, or my last review, that was of the JHS Coyote Fuzz. I mentioned once again that fuzz pedals into a clean amp. I always set my amp dead clean for demos now, by the way. Fuzz pedals then, they do not behave at their best. They need to be going into something that is a bit driven. And by adding this, you are sort of fixing that. And I can say that some modern fuzz pedals, they do sort of take that into account, and they are sort of adding an extra gain layer within the fuzz pedal. But with this, you do get the true vintage original feeling with the pedals if you want to do that, or you can add in the drive if you feel like. It sounds fantastic. The different modes or the different voicings, they do sound similar, especially the first 3. It gets a lot more gainier with the last one, the Mark II, the Tone Bender Mark II, but they are similar in like how they are created, so I'm guessing that's why they sound similar, and also why it's possible to put them into the same pedal. And I'm assuming that they are using a lot of the same components. So yeah, a whole lot of fun, and adding this on top, it's yeah, that's just perfect. I do think I prefer the Octa Fuzz, but it's also cool to have a treble booster. And as you can hear, you are shaving off quite a lot of low end when you're using the treble booster, even with the mid focus on the mod. But that's how treble boosters work, so that's not new with this pedal. And the buffer feature is also really nice if you want to place it a bit down in your signal chain, because that's often an issue with vintage fuzz pedals, that you need to place them first. Sounds really good feature-wise, it's packed, it's good. I think you should be able to use the drive alone without having this. Of course, you can grab this one. I'm not sure about the price on this one. And I think that most people, they will probably have a foot switch that will work with this, but it would be nice to be able to turn on just the drive on the pedal itself without using anything else. As you can see, you can use it together with the fuzz, or with the treble booster or Octa Fuzz, not alone on the pedal. So I think that's the only con that I can come up with this pedal, that it would be nice to just use the drive section alone. It sounds amazing, so that's why I think you should be able to do that without using a foot switch. So if you are after a vintage voiced fuzz pedal with a lot of features, this is almost like the perfect Led Zeppelin and a box pedal, in my opinion. And of course, you can do a whole lot more with it. Yeah, the Triptychøn might be for you if you are into that vintage fuzz thing, with some added features to make it easier for you to use that pedal, because they can be tricky to use, those old fuzz pedals, in my opinion. But this is that fixed. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please leave them down in the comment section, and goodbye.